Do you know who the most dangerous people in the world are? The ones who shout the loudest? No. The ones who threaten others? No. The most dangerous people in the world are the ones who stay silent. Because the person who stays silent observes. The one who observes understands. And the one who understands controls. Throughout history, the most powerful people were rarely the ones who talked the most. They stayed quiet, planned carefully, and then one day they struck in a way that shocked the entire world. Today's story is about exactly that kind of person. A man everyone thought was weak, but in the end, he proved that staying silent doesn't mean surrender. Sometimes silence is simply the calm before the storm. At a well-known company in Dhaka, two new employees joined on the same day. One was named Tanvir and the other was Farhan. Tanvir was energetic, talkative, and extremely confident. From the very first day, he started chatting with everyone in the office. His smile, his words, and his confidence impressed everyone. Even the boss said that this guy was going to go very far. Farhan, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. He barely spoke. In meetings, he sat quietly and listened. If someone asked him something, he would give a short answer and go back to his work. Most people in the office assumed Farhan was weak. Maybe he simply wasn't capable. Some people even joked about him and said, "Does this guy have a lock on his mouth?" Within the first few months, Tanvir became the star of the office. In every meeting, he presented impressive ideas and spoke confidently about how he would handle projects and impress clients. People loved listening to him, and the boss even started taking him to important meetings. In his mind, Tanvir believed he had already won. Meanwhile, Farhan remained quiet. He rarely shared his ideas publicly. Whenever someone asked him his opinion, he simply replied that he was still learning. But nobody knew what Farhan was actually doing behind the scenes. Every night, he spent hours analyzing the company's old data. He wanted to understand where the real problems were. He read every client complaint and studied every failed project. Yet he never told anyone about it. Because Farhan understood that when you reveal your plans too early, you create enemies. 6 months later, the company faced a major crisis. Their biggest client was about to leave. The boss gathered everyone and asked who could solve the problem. Tanvir immediately stepped forward and created a large presentation filled with beautiful slides, fancy graphs, and impressive words. But when the client asked a simple question about the main complaints over the past 6 months, Tanvir froze. He didn't know the answer because he had never truly analyzed the problem. He had talked a lot, but he hadn't done the deep work. At that moment, Farhan stood up. The entire office was shocked because the quiet guy who barely spoke was suddenly ready to speak. Farhan calmly explained each complaint the client had made over the past 6 months. He showed exactly where the company had failed and then presented a clear plan for how the problems could be solved within 3 months. The room became completely silent. The client looked impressed and said that he trusted Farhan because he wasn't just talking, he was providing proof. That day, the client decided to stay, and for the first time, the entire office truly noticed Farhan. After that day, everything began to change. The boss realized that Tanvir talked a lot but lacked depth, while Farhan rarely spoke, but every word he said was backed by hours of effort. Slowly, Tanvir was removed from important projects, and Farhan was promoted to team leader. Tanvir became angry and confronted Farhan, accusing him of tricking everyone by staying silent. Farhan calmly replied that he hadn't tricked anyone. He had simply done something Tanvir never did. He stayed quiet and observed. Tanvir had been too busy talking to notice the opportunity. Tanvir had no answer because Farhan's words carried no arrogance, only truth. Why silent people are dangerous. This story teaches us several important lessons. Silent people observe more. When someone talks constantly, they mostly hear themselves. But when someone stays quiet, they listen to others and study people's behavior. They can quickly understand who is trustworthy and who is not. Another reason silent people are dangerous is that no one can predict their next move. People who talk too much reveal their plans, but silent people keep their intentions hidden. This makes them unpredictable and difficult to defeat. Silent people also make decisions based on logic rather than emotion. Instead of reacting quickly, they listen, think carefully, and then act with precision. They also conserve their mental energy. While most people spend thousands of words every day, silent individuals save their energy for thinking, planning, and executing important tasks. Finally, silent people often have extraordinary self-control. Anyone who can control their words can also control their life. And a person who controls themselves cannot easily be controlled by others. 2 years later, Farhan became the youngest manager in the company. During an interview, someone asked him about the secret behind his success. Farhan smiled and said he follows 3 simple rules. First, before speaking, he always asks himself whether what he is about to say is truly necessary. Second, he never shares his plans with anyone until they become reality. Third, when people speak to him, he tries to understand not just their words, but their intentions. The interviewer then asked if people sometimes misunderstood him. Farhan admitted that they did. Some people thought he was arrogant, others thought he was weak, and some believed he had nothing to say. But Farhan explained that silence is not weakness. Silence is simply waiting for the right moment. Just like a lion that does not announce its attack, but waits patiently, observes carefully, and strikes at the perfect moment. That is the power of silence. From today, remember something important. Your dreams, your plans, and your next moves do not need to be shared with everyone. When you tell people your goals, 3 things often happen. Some people become jealous, some try to discourage you, and sometimes your own brain begins to believe that you have already achieved it. Psychologists call this social reality. When you share your goals and receive praise, your brain feels rewarded even though the work hasn't been completed yet, and this reduces your motivation. So from today, stay quiet, work hard, and let your results speak for you. Let your success be your loudest voice. Remember that before a storm arrives, nature becomes silent. Before an earthquake, there is no warning sound, and the deepest rivers flow with the least noise. Become like that deep river. Move quietly, keep working, and one day when the world finally looks at you in amazement, they will understand that the quietest people can be the most powerful. If you enjoyed this story, give the video a like. And if you believe this story could change someone's life, share it with them. In the comments, tell me whether you are a silent person or someone who talks a lot. I will be back soon with another powerful story. Until then, stay quiet, keep working, and prove yourself.